Before this book project even was launched, I was involved in trying to create a MOOC. And one of the things I knew I wanted to do in the MOOC was to have interactive activities that people who were learning in the course would be able to engage in. And I decided that this would be done most easily via computer-based animations and tutorials. And if you have taken a look at them as you've been reading through the book, looking at the different links that I've made to the different tutorials and animations, I think we have on the order of about 50 of them. These images that I'm showing you here are images that you have already seen and worked with. And I'm quite proud of what we were able to achieve, but I have to tell you, I didn't program one line of this. What I had were some incredible undergraduates who worked with me on this. And the story starts with Dylan Cutler. Dylan was a sophomore at Georgetown, and he had taken a relativity and quantum mechanics course with me, and he was interested in both working on science, but also working in an area where he could use some of his graphic design skills that he was also interested in. And I thought that trying to help create these kinds of animations would be a great way to do that. Now, we had to write these codes in JavaScript, and Dylan didn't even know JavaScript, but he was a computer science double major, so he started off learning how to work with JavaScript. And of course, if you don't have much experience in something, the first codes that you write are a bit clunky and maybe don't work quite so well. And we had been searching the web, and I had found an interesting animation. And I'm going to show you both the person who is behind the animation, who is Lucas Vieira Barbosa, and the animation itself. I have shown you this animation before. It is animating a discussion that is in Feynman's book QED, and it tells you how you take an arrow and apply that arrow to each alternative way an event can occur. That arrow is determined by a stopwatch hand which says which direction it points in. Here we're looking at reflection off of a mirror. You then take all of those arrows and you line them up head to tail. You get a final arrow, and then you square the length of the final arrow to get you the probability. It was a very nice animation, and although it wasn't interactive and it wasn't doing the kinds of things that we wanted to do precisely, it had exactly the right spirit for what it was that we wanted to do. So lo and behold, a semester after Dylan had started working with us, I get a knock on my door, and there's Lucas standing at the door. Now, I didn't know who had made these animations that I was sharing with Dylan, but I later found out that Lucas was the person who made them. He was an exchange student from Brazil. He had worked for 10 years as a JavaScript programmer, and he had a huge interest in educational work and had created a whole bunch of educational work himself. Most of it in Portuguese that he was using to teach people how to do different kinds of things in physics. He joined our project and he taught Dylan how to program professionally in JavaScript, and we ended up creating a lot of modular programs using libraries and using modules for the different types of things that we wanted to do with the different animations. And the end product was fantastic. So Lucas did his thesis on the animations that come from chapter 3 of the book. Dylan did his thesis on the animations that form chapter 4 of the book. And then after he got his undergraduate degree, Lucas very generously worked all of the animations for chapters 1 and 2. I was able to get some money to pay for him, but I tell you, it was probably 1/10 of what he would have gotten had he gotten it from a professional institution to do the kind of work that he had done. So thanks to these two gentlemen, Dylan is currently an engineer at Google. He works on their web browser, And Lucas has just earned a PhD in physics, and he is a postdoctoral fellow. So we worked on this project for 3 years. It resulted in 2 undergraduate theses and 1 Best Research Prize in the department. And we had support from the NSF and from Georgetown. And it was a very enjoyable project to work with these people. We would go back and forth having lots of different kinds of ideas for how animations would work. We really tuned them until we got them exactly the way that we wanted them to be, and it was really just a fantastic experience to work with them, make sure that we got all of the ideas correct and that we had animations that we thought really would work and help people learn. And I'm going to just show this video again. I've shown it in an earlier video, but I'm going to show it again to show you how these animations really work and just the spectacular job that was done. This is one that was done by Lucas. So what we have here is the classical Stern-Gerlach analyzer. We have the inhomogeneous magnet. That animation is showing us the current loop, whose effective needle is pointing at an angle, and as it passes through the magnet, it both processes and feels a push. The push is proportional to the projection on that vertical axis, which was just shown there for you in yellow, and then that push determines where it's going to hit the screen. So by looking at where it hits the screen, you can determine what the projection was on the axis of increasing magnetic field. And I still am amazed every time I see that at how high quality and professional those animations are. And I hope that you've enjoyed them in working through the book and that you've taken the time to click on the links or enter them into a computer and engage with that material. Hey guys, let's do quantum right.